guys, we're back in another video. Enough said, meet the Simmons. Today we got a video from Judge Lynn Toller. We love her, one of my favorite judges. There's a couple in her court today, and they are struggling through a lot of different issues, and I think it'd be a great case study. So stay with us. We're gonna be pausing, stopping, but just stay with us. I think this is a really, really great case study to show some things about what couples really go through. So here we go.
I can tell my wife that the sky is blue, and she say, no, 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 and she turns around and her sister or somebody say the sky is blue, she's like, yeah, and then she come back to me and say, Ty, guess what, the sky is blue. I said, I just told you that. You know, so our communication is really bad. There is no, it seems like every time I open my mouth, she asks, and this is what's crazy, she asks me a question, and when I attempt to answer the question, she said, oh, here we go, a long story, oh, here we go. I'm like, how do you want me to answer the question?
First point. That is the most frustrating thing for a man. See, when your spouse listens to other people and they don't respect you.
Expound.
So she says her sister will tell her something. He uses the sky's blue, which is a good example. And he'll tell her the same thing, and it's like, oh, the sister's word is above his word. That's a very blatant sign of disrespect. And for a man, that tells us you don't trust me. You don't trust my leadership. You don't trust my decision making. It's very, very blatant. And a lot of women, it goes right over their head. They don't see that.
I agree. But it stems back to not having trust in your partner to lead you or trust that person's word. So yeah, a lot of people with significant trust issues will struggle in that area.
Yep.
Yeah.
But let's go back on. There's some more to it here. So
I got to answer it like you want me to answer it? You want me to just say yes or no? No. I'm going to tell you yes, and this is what happens with the yes. Or no, this is what happens with the no, so that you get a clear understanding. I mean, who wants to answer the question that you don't understand?
Now, Ms. Dockery, now hang on just a second. Out of your own mouth, you told me that you go from 0 to 100 very quickly.
Yes, I know.
Out of your own mouth, you told me that you get live and flippy with it first. So, to what extent do you find him in error with respect to your communication problems?
Because with him, it's not what he says, it's how he says it. He pushes my buttons. He knows exactly what to do, what to say to get under my skin.
Give me an example.
I mean, just to give you an example.
See,
There she goes.
After years of us coaching and counseling couples, if I had $1 for every time I heard a woman say that,
it's not what he said, but how he said it.
Yeah, we wouldn't be on here on YouTube. We'd be on the beach somewhere because we'd be rich. Because I'm not gonna say that it isn't, that tone isn't everything, because tone has a lot to do with it. But it's this tone police thing that we do now in our society. If you say something that I don't want to hear, now it's your tone, because I can attack your tone. I can't attack your talking point, but I can attack your tone. I don't like that. I don't like it, especially if it's true. Especially if it's true. If I tell you that you have an attitude problem and I don't like the way you talk to me, and my voice is slightly elevated, now it's, oh, you yelled at me, so that means you don't have to listen to anything I said. Nothing I said has validity now because of how I said it. I don't agree with that. What do you think?
I think men, because you're logic based, you get directly to the point. Here's the issue. You're all about being solutions oriented. Good men are. You're all about being solutions oriented. So it's more of direct in nature, where I may want the fluff, or I may be feeling a certain type of way. And because I don't like how you necessarily came across, not really the delivery, but like you said, it's really the message. I don't want to hear what you have to say right now. So it's easy to kind of just say, and deflect.
Now, gentlemen, you got to understand you're dealing with a woman. Dealing with a woman she's gonna go through her logic is gonna go through her emotions first. That's just what you're dealing with. I'm sorry, if you don't want to deal with that, then don't get married. Don't deal with women. Go your own way. Whatever y'all call it these days, don't deal with women, because that's how they process. That's how they're built. However, maturity has to come in. Also, young ladies, you have to be mature. Does my man love me? Yes. Does he always take care of me? Yes. Does he do the best he can by me? So why would he tell me something that is going to hurt or harm me?
Yeah, we can't be offended by every single thing. And everything is not going to be in a pretty little neat package, especially depending on the seriousness or the brevity of the situation. If it's something that life or death or a serious situation, it's not going to come across, well, sweetie, there's a big ferocious dog behind you and it may eat your face off, but just be, I mean, that's not, woman, in the house, close the door now. Like, it may come across like that.
Remember the bug incident?
I don't like you bringing up our
Let's talk about the bug incident. So, My wife is deathly afraid of bugs. Deathly afraid
I'm
of
not
bugs.
deathly afraid. I just don't like them. They're creepy and they're nasty.
She freaks out. She doesn't like bugs.
Just don't like them.
And so so there was a bug.
It was a roach.
It was a roach.
It was a roach that could have killed me.
Couldn't have killed you.
The ferocious, nasty roach.
Well, before people think we got roaches, let me explain. I was still in the military. This was years ago.
Oh yeah.
And we had just gotten to our new base, and and our house was being built. We had a 3-month period between when we got there and our house was being built. So we had to stay in this crappy apartment.
Right outside of the base that
right outside
you
the base,
lived in.
We couldn't really afford anything else. Kids
and we're building a house, so we already like sunk our money into like this house that we're building.
So I wake up one night and I'm like, I feel something crawl across me. I'm like, oh snap! And
run an air mattress on the floor, mind you.
So I get up, turn the light on, and there is a roach on the pillow. It was not that long, and she got lights on, so she wakes up. And I'm like, and I'm very, very firm but very flat voice. I'm like, hey, don't move. Now I'm expecting my wife to hear my voice, hey, look, just don't move. Trust your man. She freaks out, jumps up off the air mattress, literally almost breaks her ankle, twists her ankle.
It was bad.
And I didn't even get to kill the roach because she jumped up and it got away. So yes, in that moment I wasn't like, sweetie, there's a roach, I need you. No, I was like, hey, don't move. Trust your man. But when you don't trust, that's what happened. You almost broke your ankle. So, long story short, listen to your man, ladies.
Continue.
Let's get back into
Continue.
He pushes my buttons. He knows exactly what to do, what to say to get under my
Give me
skin.
an example.
I mean, just to give you an example, I could be like, what are you watching on TV? Like, what do you mean, what am I watching on TV? What does it look like I'm watching on TV? Like, he's very black and white. So he's very cutthroat to the point, and he's disrespectful with how he talks to me. That's how I feel. So with me, you get what you give.
No, that's the point. Like I said, fellas, you gotta understand you're dealing with the feminine. You cannot talk to your wife like that. If her asking him what you watching on TV, that's she's trying to connect with you. She's on some level trying to connect with you. And you can't give her the short answer all the time. Like, well, go ahead, what are you about to say?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
That brother may have been sick of her because let me say the other side of it. Let's be real with it. Let's be real with it. So she could have been like momming him, policing him. What are you watching on TV? So her tone could have been, what are you watching on TV? Like, I'm momming you, I'm monitoring you because you know I go through your phone, you know I don't trust. So if we're not trusting, my mind is like, oh, it's maybe you triggered him to have that response. What are you watching on TV?
You got a good point. And
instead of, what are you watching on TV, sweetie? No, what are you watching on TV?
Yeah, you got a point. And I think we'll get to the bottom of it in a second.
Yeah, I'm sniffing some here.
Okay.
You're going to give me an attitude, you're going to get it back, and more to it because I have no filter. And when I am angry, I go in, and there's no stopping me. And then once I calm down, maybe an hour or two later, I do try to apologize, but he don't want to hear it. And that brings me to we go for sometimes a month without talking to each other. I'll sleep upstairs, he'll sleep down.
Seriously?
I'm dead serious.
A month without talking?
A month. I'll sleep upstairs.
And what would precipitate that kind of silence? What kind of arguments would cause that to occur?
It's his mouth. His mouth is reckless. Don't let him fool you. He got a sharp tongue, and it's not what he says, it's how he says it to me. I feel like he talks down to me. And
so here we go again. A month.
No touching, no loving.
No,
if you're not
nothing.
talking, you're not doing any of those things.
Anything.
There's just a complete disconnect.
You got a roommate. You need to get into a serious intervention.
That's horrible.
Like when I say serious, I mean therapist.
Like those red zone
red zone
groups.
intervention.
Yeah.
Or you need to just let it go. Because you're not, if you go in months, and all it takes is somebody to say something, for you to go months without speaking, that's just two people that are just bullheaded and don't want to listen. But here's the crux right here. Here we go.
everything because we're 13 years apart. I'm 30 years old. He's 43. So he got a story for everything. He can't just...
You feel like you're always being instructed.
Yeah, and I don't like that. Like,
I got
he's
it.
like, I've been there and done that, so I know. I'm like, are you my dad or my husband?
I'm gonna stop the video right there. So I'm not against age gap dating. I wouldn't do it because of this reason right here. She's 30, he's 43. She's 30, but she thinks she know better than him. That man got 13 years of living on her. Now, she's a nice looking lady, and he's a good looking dude, and I'm sure he was like, oh yeah, I got me a little young one. Well, enjoy your little young one.
So a good man is going to instruct you. I tell my students this all the time. You get what you get, you don't throw a fit. You wanted arm candy, you've got arm candy. And with that arm candy comes someone that does not want to be led. Vice versa. You wanted someone that was older, maybe more established.
Yep.
And with that comes someone that's going to instruct. Now, maybe at times you feel like he's over instructing you, but maybe you just don't know certain things and he's trying to educate you to get you to where you understand. He did say earlier in the video, I'm not just going to tell you yes or no. I'm going to give you some information and give you an understanding, because basically he's trying to help you to grow. But if you don't appreciate that, then y'all may not need to be together. I don't think this is a good fit if this is what's going to happen. You can go a whole month without connecting with your spouse. Then what is the point in being united in holy matrimony? What is the point?
Yeah.
There isn't one.
There isn't. Yeah.
If you're not willing to stay connected as husband and wife, and you can go a whole month and y'all cool with it,
Yeah.
what do you have?
Yeah.
I don't understand. What do you have?
Nothing. And that's the problem. And I think the whole purpose behind this video is to get you guys to understand, like, these dynamics happen within relationships all the time.
Oh, some of y'all watching going through this right now.
Yeah, all the
Y'all
time.
live like this.
And you got to understand that if you want a healthy, happy relationship, there's got to be some compromise somewhere. And you get what you get. Like you said, if you want to date somebody who's your senior or who's your junior, there are certain things you have to deal with. And if on top of that, if you have a person who's very
rigid in their thinking, stubborn,
very set in their ways, there are certain things that you gotta have to work around, because when you deal with somebody like that who you can't tell anything to, there's a lot that's gonna come. You're gonna be angry and frustrated in many days, and this is the reason why you have to vet that person before you say I do. Before you walk down the aisle, you have to vet that person and ask: is the juice worth the squeeze? Is this person's way of thinking matching with mine? And if it isn't, can I deal with their ups and downs? And right now, this gentleman here who finds himself in a very untenable place because he fell for something that was shiny and pretty. A pretty penny, that's what he fell for. And this young lady here, she wanted certain things. She wanted his stability, she wanted his leadership, but then she realized, I really don't want to be controlled. I don't want to be put in a box. I want to be free and get all the benefits of being a wife, but I don't want to really be a wife. And this is what a lot of women don't understand. Man reaches a certain age, look, sex is sex. Okay, I'm in my 40s just like this man right here. I need more to be stimulated than just a nice body. I can look at it, I can touch it, I can play with it, but if you're gonna be my wife, I need way more than that to keep things happy, keep me engaged, keep me to where I'm faithful to you.
Interested.
I need way more than just a pretty face and a nice body and some great sex. Because after that's overdone, I gotta deal with you. Now, this beautiful young lady here, this man goes a month without even touching because he's sick of her. And that's what people don't talk about.
Yeah.
That's what they don't talk about. You call these little pretty little packages or these dudes that got money. Well, after all that's said and done, do I even like you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think it's foolish to get in a relationship, whether you're married or dating or in a serious commitment, with someone's potential and not really realize or see the person for who they are. Because a lot of y'all are ignoring these red flags that you're seeing, and then you get in the middle of a marriage or you get in the middle of a relationship and you're like, well, I can kind of change, mold, or manipulate. No, when they're showing you who they are, believe them.
Yep.
And with
Absolutely.
that's
enough
said.
said.